My name is Neil Patel, and I help companies generate more revenue through digital marketing. Entrepreneur Magazine said I was the #1 marketer in the world, and they also said I created one of the 100 most brilliant companies. I started my first website at the age of 16. I took all the money that I earned from working at an amusement park, and I paid a marketing firm. The marketing firm provided no results, and I quickly learned that I wasn't alone. Out of my frustration and from being broke, I had no choice but to learn marketing. My first client was a power supply manufacturer. I helped them generate another $25 million in sales, and from that point, I realized the power of marketing. I helped everyone that I could, and I built my reputation by being honest and over-delivering. I've helped companies like Google, NBC, Viacom, General Motors, eBay, but nothing's more satisfying than helping small business owners succeed. I founded 4 multi-million-dollar companies, and I've learned all the mistakes that you should avoid. I've written about them on Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc., Fast Company, and even on my own blogs. It's so awesome to know that colleges from all around the world are teaching my material in their classroom. Over the years, I've received awards from the President of the United States, the House of Representatives, and the United Nations. People believe marketing is expensive and difficult. Fortunately, that's not true. There is a formula. Even if you don't have a technical bone in your body, you can get results. And my mission is to share this formula with you.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well today. It's going to be a fun webinar today. We're going to talk about a topic that many marketers seem or feel is boring, but it has a massive ROI. So let's get started. You're wasting your time on email marketing, and we're going to break down today the new approach. Email marketing is still super effective. It's just people tend to send a lot of emails that don't get opened, don't get clicked, and don't generate revenue when they should be. So my name is Neil Patel. I'm the co-founder of NP Digital. We're a global ad agency. I also have Kim and Catherine with me. Kim, do you want to give a quick introduction of yourselves? And then Catherine, you can do the same after.
Sure. My name is Kim Sopetta. I am the Senior Director of Content at NP Digital, specifically on the small to medium business side. I oversee both the content department with SEO as well as our email marketing department.
And my name is Catherine Mitchell, and I'm a Senior Content Lead here at NP Digital. I've been in marketing for a while, helping brands like Adobe turn data into growth-driving stories. And I am a fan of both storytelling and data, so I'm always looking for new ways to innovate in digital marketing.
At NP Digital, we have a lot of awards that we've won. We worked with a lot of big brands. We have a good amount of people on the team at this point for being roughly a 7-year-old company. I think we'll be 7 in October or the end of the year. It's one or the other. But the reason I bring this up, and I know I bring this up on every single webinar, we wouldn't have won these awards. We wouldn't have been able to work with a lot of these big brands if the tactics and strategies didn't work. And we work with a lot of companies on email marketing. So we see what works and we see what doesn't. On top of that, our email list at Neil Patel Digital is, no joke, well over 1.7, 1.8 million subscribers, and it grows pretty quickly each month. But every month we scrub all the people that aren't openers. So our email list is super, super active. Like if we're not getting 30+% open rates on average, we always feel something is wrong, at least with our email list. And the reason I say you're wasting time on email marketing isn't because email isn't the king of ROI. It has, really a massive ROI, and we'll share some data on this in a bit. It's more so just because email produces a lot of ROI for companies on average, it doesn't mean you are seeing that ROI. And in most cases, when we look at businesses, their email marketing isn't fine-tuned. Businesses just believe in this concept, send more emails and you generate more revenue. In theory, yes, but over time, you're going to ruin your sender reputation. If you're sending a lot of bad emails, you're not getting as many opens. And what ends up happening is email provides less and less of a ROI over time, and you got to figure out how to fix it. And I'll give you a prime example of this. This is what most people don't know about email marketing. Let's say you send emails to people on Gmail and Outlook, because both of these platforms do this. And you have a list size that's 10,000. I'm making up a number. It doesn't matter what the number is. And at the beginning, a lot of them open up your email. Over time, they feel, well, Kim or Neil or Catherine, they're sending me these emails that don't really provide value. So then you're still sending 10,000 emails, and a lot of people just ignore them. They don't even open them. They don't even click the spam button. They don't even click the unsubscribe button. They just don't open them. And over time, your open rates start slowly and slowly dropping. Now, the way Gmail and Outlook look at it is, wow, Neil sent Bob 30 emails, and he didn't open any of them. Bob probably doesn't care for Neil's emails. Let's just move him into the other inbox, or the spam inbox. And what happens is you're sending messages or signals to these platforms like Gmail and Outlook that, hey, people aren't opening up your emails. So maybe Bob is one of these people. Maybe John is another person like this. Maybe Susan is another person like this. And it starts adding up. But you're also sending emails to, let's say, Lucy, and Lucy's opening up your emails. But if your emails are ending up in a lot of other people's spam boxes, even though Lucy's engaging, there's a higher probability that in the future, even though Lucy was engaging with your emails, the emails start ending up in the spam box for her as well. This is why you want to scrub your list and only send relevant good emails, because you don't want to send signals to Gmail and Outlook that, hey, your email should be in the spam box. Because if that happens, yes, you can fix it, but it's a pain in the butt to fix it. So sorry for my rant, but let's move on. And, in essence, email marketing is a balancing act. 59% of Americans say that most emails they receive are not useful to them. Hence, a lot of people don't open them. And according to HubSpot, 40% of email users have at least 50% unread messages in their inbox. So the opportunity, yes, is in email marketing, and there is a massive ROI. The key, you just have to do it right. And why? Well, they say there's a 36-to-1 ROI, 26% increase open rates, 2 to 4x average sends per month for over half of the businesses. Look, there's just a massive ROI. At NPD, our digital agency, for the clients we work with on email marketing, average return on investment for a client between March and June of 2024, and we look at things on a quarterly basis, 4,566%. That's really high, right? Now, this number is a little inflated here, so just keep that in mind. And the reason it's inflated, companies could come to us with a pre-existing email list. They may have generated some of those emails from an ad on AdWords or Facebook ads, or through an SEO campaign, and they're spending money on SEO, and this causing them to collect emails. But before we started doing their email marketing, they didn't necessarily track the cost on some of this stuff. So it makes the ROI a little bit inflated, just as a quick disclaimer here. But there is still a massive ROI where it's extremely profitable for organizations. You just have to make sure that you're doing it right to see that ROI. And there's a lot of pillars of email, or there's a lot of pillars of marketing. And your main question may be, where does email really fit in? Well, where email really fits in is you're getting visitors to your website. How do you end up continually communicate with these visitors and get them to convert? And after you get them to convert, how can you get them to buy more and more and become evangelists and recommend other people to buy your products or services? Doesn't matter if you're in B2B or B2C. The reason I say this is if you get 100 visitors to your website, you're lucky if, 3%, 2% end up buying anything from you. The other 97, 98% are just vanishing. You want to get them back to your website. Just like you may use push notifications or collect text messages, or more so phone numbers, like even through WhatsApp. Email is another amazing channel, and you don't want to just do one of them. You ideally want to do all of them, although I know this presentation is focused on emails. But email is a great way to entice your traffic to keep coming back, build relationships with them, and get them to convert over time. And it's not just for B2C. We use it heavily for B2B. Again, it works extremely well for B2C and B2B. I won't bore you with the stats that you can just see and read on your own on the screen, but we see it effective for pretty much any industry. It doesn't matter if you're Boeing and you're selling airplanes, you still have competition and people could try to go to Airbus. Doesn't matter if you have a lot of government contracts. Government could choose other vendors to buy, products or services versus you. So continually having that communication with customers or potential customers, make sure that you can generate more revenue in the long run. Example, if you're Boeing, you have new planes coming out, you give people sneak peeks over email and show them some previews and invite them to a ceremony where in person they can see your new plane, right? And I use that example because people believe, oh, for certain industries, it's not relevant. And Boeing would be one of those industries, but it really is actually relevant for all types of companies.
Awesome. Thanks, Neil. So that obviously shows that there's a huge opportunity when it comes to email marketing, but like Neil mentioned, you can't really hit that maximum ROI without leveraging it correctly. And the first piece of that is really building the foundation and how do you email marketing even set yourself up correctly from the get-go. So we'll talk through kind of the how and the who of email marketing. And the first thing to really set up your backbone with email marketing is what's called your ESP, your email service provider. If you're doing email marketing right now, or what you believe is email marketing, and you're just sending emails from your personal or your corporate Gmail or Outlook address, it's not actually email marketing. When we say ESP, we mean dedicated platforms that are there to manage your marketing email. So we're talking Klaviyo, OmniSend, HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp. These are your email service providers that allow you to design emails, store and manage your contacts, make sure that you're being compliant with legal rules, which we'll go through a little bit later. Analyze the results of your emails, right? Those other platforms, Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, that's what's called an ISP, your inbox service provider. That's who receives the emails. So like Neil was saying earlier, when an email goes into spam or to your inbox, that's the ISP deciding that. What you need as an email marketer is an ESP. That way you can really set up and have that marketing strategy going. The other piece of this is really looking holistically at your digital marketing technology platforms. So you need to have your ESP connect with the other systems that give the ESP the data to know when and who to send to. So no matter what industry you're in, you need to make sure that your ESP connects to your CMS, your content management system. That's what your website is built on, your WordPress, Wix, Magento, whatever it is. This allows then behavior on your site to be fed into your ESP. Your ESP can send emails related to the behavior on that site. If you're B2C, it's also super critical that your e-commerce store is connected to your ESP. So this is your Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce. That way, if someone makes a purchase or puts something in their cart, your e-commerce store can now relay that information to the ESP. The ESP can send emails that are related to that action. Similarly, on the B2B side, you want to make sure your CRM is connected to your ESP. Again, your HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoho, whatever it is. So that way, when there's a change in your lead status, again, it notifies your ESP and it can send an email. The key theme that you're going to hear a lot today is the way that email marketing really works is the right message to the right people at the right time. And that can't happen unless you have all of these other tools helping to support your ESP to know when and who to send to. And when you're working through these different technology pieces in your platform, you want to look for different tools that will actually integrate natively, right? So you can use things like Zapier or have a developer build a hook or an API to try to force integrations. But if you can have platforms that natively integrate, you're going to run into a lot less issues and have a much more sophisticated strategy because the data can easily flow back and forth. So this chart just shows a couple of the main ESPs out there and what CMSs, e-com stores, and CRMs they natively integrate with. If you're not currently on one of these, that's okay. Take a screenshot of this. You can look and say, okay, I have WordPress and Shopify. That means I maybe should look into Klaviyo because that's a nice fit. This will just show you the best way to set up your tech stack. That way you can have that really sound foundation as you start to build on the strategy from there. So that was kind of the how of email marketing. Now I want to talk about the who, because email marketing, yes, it's fun. It's about design and creativity and strategy, but it also has a really important legal perspective. Because when you think about email marketing, someone is giving you their personal email address or their business email address, either way, if it's private to them. They're trusting you with that to send them emails that actually make sense and resonate with them. So you're dealing with privacy data here, right? And so you have to consider those big governing bodies. We have GDPR in the EU, CAN-SPAM in the US, CASL in Canada. And the point of these bodies is to make sure that we are protecting and really respectfully using customer data, especially when it comes to email marketing. And so the reason I bring this up, I want to spend a little bit of time on it, is you can really have very hefty ramifications if you function against these governing bodies. We're talking millions of dollars in fines against you personally or your business. We're talking having criminal laws, all of that kind of stuff kicking in. So we want you to be safe, right? So before you get to the fun strategy and the creative piece, we want you to be safe and protected. So the way that you do that is make sure you are only emailing explicitly consented, opted-in contacts. So when you have a form on your site and people are giving you their email address, it has to have that compliance language saying, by checking this box, you are agreeing to receive our email marketing messages. You can unsubscribe at any time. Here's a link to our privacy policy. Once they do that, now within your ESP, you have a timestamp of when that person consented to receive emails from you, and you're good to go. They voluntarily gave you their information. This is different than those transactional or outbound emails. So things like updates on your order status, that's separate. That doesn't need to be the opted in necessarily. And outbound emails, that's a whole different beast, dealing with different ESPs and purchasing lists. That's a different thing. For your email marketing messages that involve promotions, things like that, they must be opted in. And other than the legal piece of this, which is the most important, you can also then start to use the data that you gather from these forms that people enter through in order to start building out your segmentation, your personalization, and that more involved strategy. So this person came from this form. Okay, I have their timestamp. I see when they came in, they're compliant, but also they came from that form on that specific page. Maybe they're interested on this thing. Let's start sending them messages related to that. So you can use even what is kind of the boring legal piece of email marketing to get more creative and actually build that really cool strategy. So I want to keep talking through that. I'm going to touch on kind of the basics of strategy here, and then Catherine's going to go a little bit more in depth into some of these pieces, but just get everybody on the same page of what we talk about when it comes to email marketing strategy. So first of all, what is it? Spoiler alert, it is not just sending emails. Again, if you are coming in the morning and saying, hey, I feel like we should send an email today about a 20% off thing, and you turn that email around and send it off a few hours later, yeah, you might make some revenue from it, but you're not going to see that 36-to-1 ROI that we've been talking about with email marketing. What you need to do is really be intentional and plan, right? You need to think about what are the holidays that are coming up, or what are the key points coming up in our business? When are we releasing a new product? How do we start planning for that and tease it, right? It's not just, here's an email, here's an announcement, we expect to get a ton of money back. You have to really be intentional about it. And you also have to send consistently, right? It can't just be a one-off here, a one-off there. Otherwise, those inbox service providers, Gmail, Yahoo, they won't recognize you and they'll start sending you to spam. You want to email consistently. That way inboxes say, yep, this is a reputable person. Let's put them into the inbox. You want to make sure that you're being very personalized to the different segments. We already started talking about this with those different technology pieces, right? So based on where someone came from, what behavior they took on the site, who they are, their preferences, send them information that's more personalized to them versus just sending to your whole list every time. If you send to your whole list every time, you're either A, sending emails that are super general and aren't going to resonate with anyone, or are more specific to a part of your list and then making the rest of your list feel unheard, right? So you have to really find that balance between sending to everybody once in a while versus segmenting more often. You also want to mix it informational and promotional. If your current email marketing strategy is just discount here, discount there, discount there, you now remove the urgency. Because if I get a discount from you every week, I'm not going to really feel like I need to use it this week because I know there's another one coming next week and you're going to start to see that revenue decline, right? So you want to have a mix of informational and promotional. Email marketing is really a give and a take. Yes, we ask you to buy from us, but also we're giving you useful information and making our reason for coming into your inbox, not just asking you to give us money. It's actually giving you value as well. And then that behavior-based piece, which again, Catherine's going to get more into as well as Neil, in terms of how workflows work and the different behaviors people take on the site or with your e-commerce store and how that triggers them into different workflows. So just a little bit of background there in terms of when we say email marketing strategy, what we do mean and what we don't mean and how to really maximize that ROI. The email marketing strategy that you build is made up of the 4 core elements, we call them. There are forms, so that someone comes to your site, there's a pop-up that says, hey, give us your phone number and your email address and your first name. Here's the checkbox for compliance. Cool, now they've agreed to receive email messaging from you. So that takes the traffic from your site and legally converts them into leads because it's voluntary. There's then also your workflows. And so these are your series of emails that are based on a certain behavior, right? So somebody takes a behavior, they enter a workflow related to that behavior, and they go through that flow until they complete what's called the exit condition or the goal. Campaigns, those are your consistent sends. Maybe month to month, you send 2 to 4 times a month, whatever it is. That way, even if people aren't on your site and causing those workflows to trigger, they're still hearing from you. They're still getting value from you and keeping you top of mind. SMS, if you are collecting phone numbers, that's a whole nother compliance piece to look into and make sure that you're abiding by all the legal rules, but it allows you to engage with people on mobile and kind of sprinkle that into your strategy as well. So what I want to do is show you how these core 4 elements can really come together into a full customer journey. Keep in mind, this is purely an example. The customer journey can look 1,001 different ways, but I want to show you how these different elements fit in and how email marketing works with those other pillars of digital marketing. So to take a scenario, we can pretend that I'm an expecting mother and I go online and I search for the best prenatal vitamins, right? The first result I get, because this company has been working really hard on their SEO and making really good blog content, the first result I see is a blog from a supplements company that's how to choose your prenatal vitamins. Cool, that aligns with what I'm looking for. I click on it. I go on that blog, I'm reading through, I'm about halfway through the blog, and a form pops up. That form has an image of an expecting mother, and it says, hey, here's 20% off your first order of prenatal vitamins in exchange for your email address. Cool, all right, I'm shopping around anyway. I'm looking for prenatal vitamins. This is going to give me 20% off specifically prenatal vitamins. Why wouldn't I do it? So I fill in my information. By filling in that form, it enters me into that welcome workflow. I immediately get that 20% off I was promised. I take that and I immediately purchase. Boom, there's your first revenue, right? From there, now you have me on your email list addresses that you can keep engaging with me and building that relationship. So after I bought my first amount of prenatal vitamins, 2 weeks later, I get a campaign from you. And because you can see that I purchased prenatal vitamins, you have me in that segment. These are the people who are buying prenatal supplements versus people who are buying exercise supplements or health and wellness supplements, right? So you can send me messages that are more related to that. So you send a campaign to that prenatal segment that's about iron supplements of like, hey, these are a great complement to prenatals. I see that email, super relevant. Okay, cool. I go visit the site. I put it in my cart, but it's the middle of the workday. I get distracted and I don't actually check out. About 8 hours later, because I didn't check out, I am now entered into an abandoned cart workflow. And I get a text message because I gave you my phone number on that original form saying, hey, you have items in your cart that are close to selling out. Okay, I need to go back. I need to buy these before they sell out. I rush back to my computer. I purchase those prenatal, the iron supplements that go with them. And there's your second stream of revenue, right? And now you can see as a marketer that I am a more loyal customer. I've purchased twice. So after that second purchase, you now put me into a workflow that is a post-purchase workflow where it basically has a referral strategy. If I refer another one of my friends and they sign up for your emails, they'll get 20% off and I get 20% off. I have a friend who's super into fitness, would love their fitness supplements. I send it to them. My friend signs up. They now are part of your email list as well. So you just grew your email list. They're also going to use their 20% off to purchase. I got another 20% off, so I'm going to purchase again. And you just gained more people onto your list as well as more revenue. And from there, it's kind of rinse and repeat. You still have to think strategically about who you're emailing and when, but you can do things like relevant messaging. Some are promotional, some are informational. Maybe if you see that I purchased a 6-month stock of supplements, you do, okay, 5 months from purchase date, send this person an email, be like, hey, reminder, your stock is going to run out soon. Don't forget to rebuy. So you can start to get really nuanced with this customer journey based on where people are once you understand what they're looking for and what their preferences are. So again, caveat, this is not a one size fits all. There are a million ways that this can go, but just an example of that route that a customer could take and how those core 4 elements really fit in. And so as I talked about through that, right, with the prenatal example, I was being targeted as a specific segment, right? I was there for a specific thing. And there are a bunch of different ways that you can segment. And like we've been saying over and over again, you don't want to email your whole list. You want to think about who you're emailing them and email them messages that make sense. And you can segment based on so many different factors. It can be engagement level or how long they've been engaged. It can be their site behavior, like abandoning a cart. It can be their shopping behavior. I purchased prenatal, so now you know what I'm interested in. Geolocation, where they are, even volunteer preferences. So you can have on that initial form, like that supplement company, it could ask for a phone number, email address, first name, and a drop down of what are you interested in? Health and wellness, fitness, prenatal. And once I fill out that form with that preference, you now tag me with that preference and can start emailing me based on that segmentation. So a lot of really cool ways that you can use this. But a lot of times what we hear from our clients when we first introduce segmentation to them is, well, that doesn't make sense, right? If I have all these people I could be emailing, why wouldn't I email everybody and try to maximize my ROI? That goes back to what I said earlier, where either then you're going to email too general and people are going to start not enjoying your emails and unsubscribing, not engaging, it sends you to spam, or you're going to feel part of your list feel left out because you're going to only talk to one part of them. You want to make sure that you're emailing groups of people that are going to be highly engaged. That way, you see your deliverability increase and ultimately a higher ROI. You keep going to the inbox and really can start to maximize that 36-to-1 that we talked about. You can still email everybody once in a while, maybe once a month, send out a newsletter to everybody, but more often than not, you want to have that segmentation going on. So that's a lot of the science piece of it. I want to quickly touch on the creativity and the art piece of it in terms of how you write and design your emails. So email copywriting is really a very unique beast. There are two frameworks that we like to lean on, the 4 C's, clear, concise, compelling, and credible, and PAS, here's the problem, here's the agitation, hey, here's the solution that we provide. No matter if we're talking subject line and pre-header or the body of your email, you always want to keep it very short and succinct. You want to use action verbs. You want to really grab people's attention. And again, keep it very personalized beyond just, hey, first name. Make it personalized to the segment that you're talking to. Similarly with the body copy, think about what you would want if you were receiving that email. Don't overwhelm people with too much information. Speak to them about where they're at and who they are. Talk to them with personal language. Keep it very to the point and scannable. Use bullet points, things like that, and have that call to action be very straightforward and very related to the goal. You take that copy and then you drop it into the design. The design is basically the same ideology. You want it to be very attention grabbing. So have a header that's colorful. It shows an image. Also make sure the CTA is above the fold with that header. You can use GIFs and keep it well designed. Keep the text pretty minimal. Let the design speak for itself and really stay consistent with your brand. And I know it can be very overwhelming thinking about design, especially when it comes to email. You don't need to be a certified designer or any of that. Your ESP, your email service provider, will allow you to build emails directly in the ESP that are consistent with your brand. You put in your colors, your logos, all of that, and it's basically just drag and drop modules from there. So then the results, right? You do all this work, you set up the foundation, you start to build a strategy, you do the creative piece of it. How do you know what you're doing is actually working? And you need to look at all sides of the story. So use your ESP as the main source of truth. That's going to give you information directly based on each email you send. You also want to think back to, okay, what is my primary goal? If you're a B2C company, odds are your primary goal is going to be revenue, right? Everybody's goal in revenue, but specifically for email marketing, B2C, you're saying, okay, every email I send, I want to make money off of it. So in your ESP, you can go and see this email made this much money. For B2B, because people don't convert online, your email marketing goal is going to be people filling out a contact us form. That way you know how more leads in your funnel. So what you're going to look at in your ESP is, okay, this email got
unless
this many.
Unless it's self-service SaaS.
Yes, absolutely. Great point. And for the most part, if you're having a B2B company where it is like a contact us and building the lead funnel, you're going to want them to fill out that contact us form. And so you can track how many people click on your email, go and fill out that form. And now that is what you consider a conversion for email marketing. So there's different ways to really slice and dice the data. Use your open rate and your click rate more as optimization opportunities, not the end all be all, right? So you can see, okay, a bunch of people opened this email but didn't click it. Why is that? Was the design off? Was the CTA not right? Start to think about it as the opportunity it presents versus just having that be the only metrics you look at. Also, keep in mind the effect of Apple privacy and spam bot checks. That's going to really inflate your open rate. So open rate can be useful, but more so focus on click rate and revenue as your overall goals. And also don't only focus on these positive KPIs. There's also what we call the negative KPIs. So things like your unsubscribe and your bounce rates, you want to keep them below 0.1%. If you see those start to creep up, that's where you have to worry about, okay, am I going to spam? Why am I going to spam? Am I being compliant to the people I'm sending to? Do I need to clean my list? So all the metrics within your ESP help to tell a very well-rounded story. You just have to kind of look through it and see how it aligns to your goals. And all of that from there, as you get your data and you start playing with it, you just keep iterating. Try different designs, try different copy, try different strategies and send times, whatever it is, and start to learn and grow from there. That's really how you find that email marketing strategy and kind of build it up to that ROI goal. So that gives you some background. And I think now we're going to walk through a little bit more of the specifics of leveraging this email strategy and especially AI.
Yep. So now let's dive in talking about leveraging a lot of behavioral triggers and AI for enhanced performance. So the benefit of triggered emails is really simple. You can send someone an email based on an action that they're taking and you get higher conversion rates. Imagine someone going, as Kim mentioned, imagine someone going to your checkout and they don't end up buying. Well, if they don't end up buying, you send them the same email with that product at 5, 10% off or 20% off. There's a good chance you can get them to buy. That's an example of a trigger. It just works. Has to be the right email at the right time. And it also just increases relevancy and personalization. People don't like generic emails. Personalized experiences matter. 83% of customers are more likely to purchase from a brand that provides personalized experiences. And not only that, what we find is it creates more brand loyalty where people are happier with the brand, and it increases word of mouth marketing, which is the best form of marketing. Most people don't talk about it, but most purchases are made by people just knowing a brand or hearing about it somewhere in the past, right? So you want to make sure that you really delight people. If you delight people, you're more likely to give them that personalized experience that just sets you apart from the companies that's sending a generic email to everyone on the list. That's one of the main reasons email marketing doesn't work out for most people. And then you got to think about relationships. How do you really take the relationship to the next level? If you think about the prenatal example, you could be like, well, I'm just selling these people and I'm providing all these other things. Well, if someone's pregnant and they want a healthy baby and you know they need certain things and they may not be taking it, they'll actually be happy that you notified them. So in the prenatal example, it's not just about saying, hey, you're not taking prenatal, you're missing out on iron. Your email may actually break down, hey, one of the biggest mistakes that people who are pregnant have is they don't have enough iron. Here's what a lack of iron does, and here's what too much iron does to your body. You need the right amount, and when you have a baby, you need this percentage versus if you didn't have one. Here are the right iron supplements that can match up with your body's needs. So you're not just selling them on something, you're helping and educating, which builds a better relationship over time. And if you don't really use triggers, what you'll find is the real big thing is just lower conversion rates and lower open rates over time and more unsubscribes. And then you'll be like, well, we've been doing email marketing for a long time. It used to work out really well, but not as much anymore. And that's because a lot of people just send generic emails and they're not using behavioral-based triggers. And if you do that, you'll find that your list rates, not just from an open rate or a click rate, but more so from a revenue and ROI standpoint, stay strong. And there's many different types of behavioral-based triggers. And you just need to understand, is it someone, coming to your website? Are they adding something to a car? Are they filling out a form? Or do you have a long sales cycle? Do you need to build a relationship with them because it takes 6 months? Is your product that you're selling involving many people on their team? Do you need to encourage them to book a presentation with multiple people on their organization or demo if you're B2B and have them all on a call, right? There's a lot of different types of triggers that you need to keep in mind. But when you're doing these triggers, right, here's some examples of ones that you can automate. Welcome emails, abandoned cart, post-purchase follow-ups, browse abandonments, re-engagement campaigns. A trick for most of you guys who are listening to this, and you probably don't know this, there's a tool called Zaymo, not Waymo, the Google company, Zaymo, Z-A-Y-M-O. So let's say if someone buys something from you or adds something to the cart, but they don't buy from you, right? So not a buyer, but they add something to the cart and you know they want it. You can send them an email with that product in there, like I'm wearing a white t-shirt. I actually always wear white t-shirts. And it'll show the white t-shirt in the email. Inside the email, not going to your website, literally inside the email, they can select the size, they can check out and buy, all within the email. They don't have to leave to go to your website. They're using AMP technology, AMP. And if you try that out, we've seen increases in conversions with that. And it's worth trying out when you're using these automated triggers. Just think about it. It's more effortless, right? And trigger emails versus bulk emails, they outperform. You can see the numbers here. Just look at that, right? From open rates to click-through rates, it's better all across the board. And you're probably wondering, how do triggers fit your email marketing strategy? Well, it can fit in many different ways, from integration, seamlessly blending trigger campaigns with existing ones, to customer journey, getting them step by step. This is pretty, easy to understand in B2C. We gave a lot of the prenatal examples. But like in B2B, if you have a SaaS app, whether it's self-service or not, if someone's taking action, like they onboarded, they put in their company URL, maybe the next step is inviting users, like if it's a Slack, maybe the next step is then sending messages and just nudging them through, right? Personalization, of course, you want to personalize depending on the type of person or business or region that they may live in. And automation just saves time and it keeps generating you revenue, when you're sleeping. That's a beautiful part about email marketing.
Understanding your customers' behavior is essential when creating these personalized and effective email campaigns. When we leverage behavioral triggers, you have the ability to analyze website activity, campaign engagement, and purchase behavior to identify these beautiful key patterns. When we do that, we're able to segment our audience and deliver these hyper-targeted messages at the right moment. Whether it is a welcome email or a re-engagement campaign, these insights enable you to optimize your strategy for maximum impact, ultimately driving higher engagement and boosting ROI. Now, when it comes to triggered emails, as you've heard several times from all of us, timing is everything, and the key is to strike a balance between immediacy and consideration, which can be tricky. Some triggers like welcome emails or purchase confirmations should be sent out immediately, but others like abandoned cart reminders may benefit from a slight delay. Whatever it is, it's crucial to consider frequency to avoid overwhelming your audience. Leveraging AI can actually help us determine optimal send times based on individual user behavior. It can help us maximize the chances of engagement through that. Remember, the goal is to be timely and relevant, not intrusive. Personalization in triggered emails goes beyond using a customer's name. It's about crafting this experience that feels tailor-made for each recipient. This can include dynamically changing content based on past purchases, browsing history, or even real-time data. For instance, AI can help us customize email content based on current weather and a recipient's location. And then product recommendations can be fine-tuned using machine learning algorithms. Bottom line here, the more personalized and relevant your emails are, the more likely they are to resonate with your audience and thus drive engagement. Now, when it comes to effective triggered emails, they tell a story that resonates with the customer. This begins with the subject line, which could pique curiosity and compel the recipient to open the email. The content should then deliver on that promise, creating this emotional connection. For example, if you look at the screen, the first email you see is simplify your work week. Well, you guys, I'm a mom of 3. I absolutely want to simplify my week with farm delivery. So this caught my eye. No matter what, we want you to maintain a consistent brand voice across all your triggered emails to reinforce that brand identity. And remember, you're not just sending information, you're continuing this beautiful conversation and building a relationship with each triggered email you send. Now, this example from Pods demonstrates several key principles for crafting effective CTAs and triggered emails. First, I want you to notice how they adapted to the expired offer. Instead of letting this email become irrelevant, they updated it to say, this offer has expired, but your options haven't. This keeps communication fresh and it maintains engagement even after the initial promotion has ended. The email features a clear and singular CTA button that says get quote, which aligns with our recommendation to focus on a primary action in order to prevent confusion. This button you see is visually distinct, making it easier for recipients to spot and click. Pods uses this urgent language effectively. The 20% off promotion creates a sense of value, even if the specific coupon code is now expired. It still encourages this immediate action, which is really neat. Unfortunately for Pods, we weren't looking to move. So it didn't work for me, but I can see it working for others. Importantly, they've made their CTA adaptable. Even though the original offer had ended, they're still prompting customers to reach out for potential discounts. This flexibility ensures the email remains actionable and valuable long after this initial send. This example shows how a well-crafted CTA can turn a potentially outdated communication into this ongoing opportunity for customer engagement and conversion. So now that we've seen the impressive benefits of triggered emails, let's dive into how we can make them a reality for your organization. In this section, we're going to explore tools and techniques and strategies that will hopefully help you implement an effective triggered email system, as well as discussing how to overcome common challenges along the way. At the heart of any effective triggered email strategy is a robust data foundation. This can be built on customer relationship management, CRM systems, or customer data platforms, also known as CDPs. While both of these centralize customer data, they offer distinct advantages when it comes to triggered emails. We have data centralization, which CRMs aggregate customer information from various platforms into one hub, creating a single source of truth, if you will, for customer data, which is essential for consistent communication. Then we have real-time analytics. CDPs often go far beyond centralization by providing instant insights from this aggregated data. This allows for more dynamic segmentation and immediate response to customer behavior. And then we have personalized timing. The integrated system is going to enable tailored triggered emails to be sent at the most impactful moments, which obviously can't hurt. This can be based on actions or milestones for your customer and could be anything from a welcome email after a sign up to a re-engagement email for inactive customers. Then we have compliance assurance. Throughout this process, the system maintains data privacy and adheres to regulatory requirements, ensuring that your email strategy is both effective and compliant. So when a CRM or a CDP is integrated with an email marketing platform, it can automatically trigger emails based on specific customer actions or data points. For example, if a customer status changes or they exhibit a certain behavior, it can trigger a relevant email based on this through the marketing platform. Integration allows for sophisticated data-driven email strategies that can adapt and grow with your business. The key is to choose the right system for your needs, whether it's a CRM for its robust data management or a CDP for its real-time analytical capabilities. You need to integrate it effectively within your email marketing tools to create this beautifully powerful triggered email ecosystem.
And one quick thing to mention about a CDP is I want you to think about it like SEO. It's a pain in the beginning to set up and get it all going, and there's not a ROI, but in the long run, there's a massive ROI, but in the short run, it's a massive pain.
Exactly. Good things take time and effort to develop, but we can see the results long term. So when it comes to refine and perfecting your triggered email strategy, we're going to follow this continuous improvement cycle, leveraging AI-driven automation platforms. First, you can optimize elements by choosing a platform that integrates seamlessly with your existing tech stack and offers AI-powered features for this advanced personalization. We want to encourage you to test various emails, elements like subject lines, content, and timing to see what drives the best engagement. Next, isolate the variables by starting with one at a time to ensure you have clear and actionable results from your tests. When selecting your automation platform, consider scalability. So that way you can use it to grow with your needs over time and prioritize ease of use to facilitate adoption across your team. Then we want you to validate your email results using statistical significance to confirm that your findings are accurate and reliable. For instance, you might implement Salesforce or AI-driven email marketing automation to get sophisticated insights. And finally, iterate and improve by implementing these winning variations and continuing to test and refine and enhance your strategy. Use AI-driven insights continuously to optimize your triggered email campaigns. The reality is this cycle of optimization, isolation, validation, and iteration can help you power this effective triggered email strategy that grows and improves over time. Machine learning takes triggered email optimization to the next level. It is so crazy what AI can do for us these days. By implementing machine learning algorithms, you have the ability to create a self-improving system that optimizes in real time. These algorithms have the ability to predict the best send times, content, and offers for each recipient based on this vast amount of data. They can automatically adjust campaigns for you based on performance data, which is super cool, ensuring that your triggered emails are always operating at peak performance. Over time, this is going to lead to continuously improving personalization and relevance for your target audience. So keeping your triggered emails ahead of the curve and maximizing their impact on your marketing goals will be the end result. Now, as we delve into the world of AI and behavior trigger emails, prepare to be amazed by the possibilities. From hyper-personalization to predictive analytics, AI is not just enhancing our current capabilities, it's opening up an entirely new frontier in email marketing. So let's explore how AI is shaping the future of these triggered emails. AI-powered personalization, for example, takes triggered emails to a whole new level. By analyzing this vast amount of customer data in real time, AI has the ability to create highly personalized content for each recipient, adapting messages based on individual preferences and behaviors. When it comes to B2B context, this might mean focusing on company-specific needs and tailoring content to different decision-maker roles. For B2C, it could emphasize individual consumer preferences and purchase history. This level of personalization, impossible to achieve manually at scale, ensures that each triggered email resonates deeply with each recipient, dramatically increasing engagement and conversion rates in the process. Now, the subject line is your first and sometimes only chance to engage with your recipient. So AI is helping us take the guesswork out of subject line creation. There are tools like Phrasee, which use AI to generate and test multiple subject line variations, optimizing for open rates and engagement. The AI adapts to individuals' user preferences over time, ensuring increasingly effective subject lines. Now, for B2B, this might mean focusing on professional tone and a clear voice for these propositions. Yet in B2C, it could be the emphasis might be more on emotion and personal relevance. No matter what, by leveraging AI for subject line optimization, we have the ability to significantly boost open rates and set the stage for higher engagement with our triggered emails. Now, we've said it before and we're going to say it again. Right message, right time. Timing is absolutely crucial in triggered emails, and AI is mastering the art of predictive analytics. AI systems have the ability to now determine the optimal send times for each individual recipient, dramatically increasing the chances of engagement. Moreover, AI has the ability to predict customer lifecycle stages, allowing for timely interventions at critical points. In B2B context, this might involve considering business hours and decision-making cycles. For B2C, the focus might be on individual daily routines and purchasing patterns. By leveraging AI for trigger timing, we ensure our emails not only contain the right message, but arrive at precisely the right moment for maximum impact. Now, let's move from theory to practice, you guys. We're about to explore how companies across various industries are leveraging AI to supercharge their email marketing efforts. These real-world examples are going to illustrate the transformative power of AI and provide you inspiration for your own email marketing strategies. AI is taking segmentation and targeting to new levels of precision. Machine learning algorithms have the ability to now cluster customer-based complex behavior patterns, enabling highly targeted campaigns, which is pretty awesome. A prime example of this comes from the travel industry. Faced with declining engagement from inactive subscribers, a company implemented an AI-driven re-engagement campaign. What they did in this was they had AI predict individual interests and generate personalized travel recommendations. The result that they came with was a 30% boost in re-engagement rates. This case study showed us how AI can breathe new life into seemingly lost customer relationships through hyper-personalized targeting. AI is revolutionizing how we tackle cart abandonment in email marketing. By optimizing our send times and personalizing the content, we've seen dramatic improvements in engagement and conversions. Like, look at these examples. SaySale uses urgency and a discount code to encourage immediate action, which absolutely worked on me. And Expedia reminds customers of their browsing history with a scenic image. Then we have Everything Kitchens, which reassures customers that they can easily resume their shopping. The data speaks for itself. Abandoned cart emails convert at 3 times the rate of other automated emails. And with AI, we're not just recovering lost sales there, we're crafting perfectly timed, highly relevant experiences that bring customers back to complete their purchase. AI's applications in email marketing extend far beyond content creation and targeting. We have predictive analytics that can forecast potential churn and allow for proactive re-engagement campaigns to take place. Automated A/B testing can happen, which can take the guesswork out of optimization, continuously testing and implementing these winning variations. And AI-driven performance analysis provides deep insights and actionable recommendations for improvement. When utilizing these advanced applications, we're able to demonstrate how AI is not just enhancing existing processes, but it's opening up entirely new possibilities in email marketing strategy and execution. Now, while AI offers tremendous benefits, it's crucial to acknowledge its limitations and the continued importance of human oversight. AI may lack emotional intelligence and can potentially perpetuate biases if not carefully monitored. It is key to have human strategists remain essential for setting overall direction, maintaining brand voice, and navigating complex customer relationships. There's also really important ethical considerations in AI-driven personalization that require human judgment. The most effective email marketing strategies find the right balance, leveraging AI's efficiency and insights while maintaining that human touch that builds lasting customer relationships.
All right, so the future of behavioral triggered emails is really embracing AI and emerging technologies. You know, I talked a little bit about Zamo. You can also end up doing simple things like using emails or using these ESP providers to figure out when you can end up sending a specific email versus just saying, hey, we're going to send out our email blast at 7 a.m. PST, right? And I know Catherine talked a little about that, but it's a super effective strategy to increase open rates, and just people don't really do it. And, you know, we're in an era of segmentation. You know, you want to take personalization to the ultimate level. Eventually, these technologies that these platforms are using are going to get better and better and make it easier for you guys to personalize. For example, showing people unique countdown timers and that matching the experience when they visit a website versus a generic countdown timer, and then someone opens up an email to. You're also going to have VR and AR. I think we're going to get into a world with email, not only you seeing products just in an email, but you end up can put on devices, and when you're buying a product, you can be chatting with friends, kind of like in a mall setting, and everyone can see different things and try it on without really being there. But that's really where it is going. And then, of course, you need to make sure about privacy and transparency. You want to be fair, you want to be realistic, and just do what's best for the user. And privacy is pretty self-explanatory, but when you're talking about fairness, if you're using AI in a lot of the marketing, you may want to let people know and just be transparent and just say, hey, if you don't want ultra personalization from AI, opt out. Let them say no, right? Give them the optionality, and then you can go from there. So if you need help with your marketing or email marketing or any type of marketing, just scan the QR code here and our team can help you, or you can just go to npdigital.com. But yeah, if you scan the QR code, fill out the form, and we'll get in touch. We can help analyze your business or your email marketing for free. And if you want to work with us, great. If not, you got some free advice. We also have a virtual summit coming up on September 24th to 26th. It's free to attend. At least the first few days are free. You don't have to put in a credit card. It's literally just free for the first few days. Scan the QR code and you can end up attending. We have amazing speakers, not only from NP Digital, but from all over the world, from a lot of the leading brands globally. All right, I know we don't have much time for questions. Colin, you want to start firing away?
Yeah, I think that's such great stuff. Short on time though. I'm going to go with a question for Kim. Email fatigue is like a real thing. There was so much great information in here. If you could give the viewers like a cheat sheet, whether it's personalization or what have you, like how do you avoid email fatigue for consumers? Go.
Two big things. One, don't send too much, right? There's such a careful balance. You should not be sending every day, maybe not even every week. There was a stat we had at the beginning of the presentation that was that sweet spot of like 2 to 4 times a month. So don't oversend and don't overwhelm people's inboxes. That's not how you maximize ROI. Do it strategically. And then those emails that you do send throughout the month, every single one shouldn't go to your whole list like we talked about. It should be segmented to the people you're talking to. That's going to resonate with them right from the subject line and the pre-header, like Catherine was saying. You'll see more engagement and you'll break through the noise.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I think that's all we have time for, all.
Appreciate you guys. If you guys ever need help with your marketing, check out NP Digital. Sorry we didn't get to tons of questions. Hopefully you found the content valuable. We'll see you next time.
My name is Neil Patel, and I help companies generate more revenue through digital marketing. Entrepreneur Magazine said I was the #1 marketer in the world, and they also said I created one of the 100 most brilliant companies. I started my first website at the age of 16. I took all the money that I earned from working at an amusement park and I paid a marketing firm. The marketing firm provided no results, and I quickly learned that I wasn't alone. Out of my frustration and from being broke, I had no choice but to learn marketing. My first client was a power supply manufacturer. I helped them generate another $25 million in sales, and from that point, I realized the power of marketing. I helped everyone that I could, and I built my reputation by being honest and over-delivering. I've helped companies like Google, NBC, Viacom, General Motors, eBay, but nothing's more satisfying than helping small business owners succeed. I founded 4 multi-million-dollar companies, and I've learned all the mistakes that you should avoid. I've written about them on Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc., Fast Company, and even on my own blogs. It's so awesome to know that colleges from all around the world are teaching my material in their classroom. Over the years, I've received awards from the President of the United States, the House of Representatives, and the United Nations. People believe marketing is expensive and difficult. Fortunately, that's not true. There is a formula. Even if you don't have a technical bone in your body, you can get results. And my mission is to share this formula with you.